everybody being here today. Good luck to Kaylee on your season. Good luck, Josh. It's always great when all the other, sports that get involved in the fall. Good luck to the cross-country athletes that are here. That everyone else, we all get off to great starts and have great seasons. It's third year, and I think that when I look at the first two, obviously there's a disappointment from my standpoint in a couple major areas, and I think that that's something that obviously then you go and work and address. I took this job in December of 2023 with essentially two goals in mind. One is to help our student athletes to become the best that they can be, in life, and whether that's developing a career in football or utilizing what football can do to enhance what they do academically. And the second thing is to bring a championship, the first one in over 30 years, to this fan base and to this university and to this region. And because I know how important that Cowboy football is, not only to this school, but to our alumni, and also as an economic driver for this region. And so in that regard, I understand the opportunity and the responsibility on a daily basis. And over the first 2 years, I think that if I look at a number of different areas of where we're at, we've recruited well, we've retained players very well. We've rebuilt ourselves defensively to where we need to be, and I think we have a chance to be better, in all of that. Academically, we've performed above any point in the 6 years that I've been here as an assistant or a head coach. And the one area that we fell short is scoring points. And, and in turn, because scoring points is obviously a big part of winning games, then put ourselves in position where there's been, too many close losses, too many low-scoring losses, 17-13s and 13-7s and things like that. And, those days have to end. And there was a major, change that I made during the season last year. And a lot of it just had to do with the fact that there was a vision that I have for Cowboy football that we weren't meeting. And there's a vision that we're going to meet going forward. And Alex Taylor mischaracterized a statement I made the other day because he didn't put out the full thing. But I said, essentially the question was asked about playing Tyson Dean both ways in our program. And I said, I don't care if I play somebody that's in the band, I just want to score a lot of points. Well, the point was, we're playing a guy that's starting on defense, on offense. We're going to do everything we can to be effective and explosive offensively. And within that, after the 2023 season, when we won 9 games, we had 4 players offensively that season who played or still are playing professionally at different areas. A couple of them in the NFL, Ayer Asante's in the CFL and those things. And we didn't replace those players offensively, and we struggled. And that was even off of an offense that was 78th in the country in scoring offense and 103rd in total offense. And so we've had an uphill climb a little bit from that standpoint. It's been since 2016 that the University of Wyoming's averaged 30 points a game offensively. And that's the goal this year as a minimum, that we want to get to that. And so, with that, there was obviously changes. First hiring an offensive coordinator with Christian Taylor that brings a vision of what I want our offense to be, and does it, if anything, pumped up on big steroids, in a way that I appreciate. That what I want us to be, he has a major, he's even over the top more over what I even envision at times, and I appreciate that. And along with the fact that we've added some players, Tyler Hughes, a number of other players that we've recruited over the last couple years, Sam Harris, I think that there's an offensive personality that I think that we're going to be able to take on in this program. And I think that we will play offensive football in a way that hasn't been seen here in terms of how we operate and in terms of what we do. Now, in saying how we operate and what we do, now we have to be effective with it, okay? And that's not to say that we're going to play better offense than's ever been seen at the University of Wyoming in history. I'm just going to tell you, but that's our goal. And our goal is to be, a team that's averaging over 30 points a game. 30 points a game in college football today only puts you in the top third of scoring offenses. So this is something that needs to happen in this program, has to happen in this program, and that we've got the goal for that to happen in the program. We're excited with the number of players that we have defensively in this program that we feel like we've got a chance to take another step forward on that side of the ball. And overall, I think there's a number of things in closing that I would say that I'm really excited about. Number one is a strong thank you to Tom Berman for, we have changed dramatically where we are as a program in terms of funding, resources, those types of things in my 3 years as a head coach. Dramatically from where we were in 2024 and dramatically from where we were last year. And to where we are now and to where we're going is a strong credit to him. And without his support, we wouldn't be able to be in a situation where I do have a smile a little bit more, as Kevin said, on a daily basis at times. And I think within that, there's a lot of things that show. We were able to attract a good number of players that bring a strong sense of maturity to the program, a strong sense of the will to win to the program. Not only just within freshmen that we've recruited over the last couple years, but also in transfers that we recruited in this past portal cycle. And I think a lot of that showed this past summer when we had 13 high school players on official visits in the month of June, and we got all 13 of those players. And one thing that was a common theme with every single one of them and every single family when they would come in my office is, Coach, the culture here is unbelievable. Your players are so positive about what's going on and what's going to happen. That doesn't happen at a lot of places when you look at it and say over the last 2 years you haven't had the level of success that you want. Our players believe what's about to happen. Our coaches believe what's about to happen. But now we have to do it. And now we have to put it out there on a weekly basis. And I think for where we start week one, obviously is a big, big game for this program, for this fan base, for this university. But where we start week one and where we need to get to week two and keep going, the arrow just needs to keep going up each and every week. So excited for everybody in all the other sports to get started this fall. Best of luck to all of you. Excited to get started Cowboy football. Go Pokes.